What's up, YouTube? Back with another video. LA Mamba. It is November 16, 2023. It is Thursday and we're closed today. We're closed every Thursday. Alright guys, well, back with another video, and today I want to be talking, make this video more for the seasoned tire shop guy that's already has a tire shop business. And I'll just describe to you, right? So you got a business that already is cash flowing, already has customers. I mean, everything's good. You already know what tires you gotta order every week. Same old thing. You know how much ads you gotta put up to get a certain result. Just a very consistent business. And yeah, I just like to talk about that part, because you're at the sweet spot right there. So you pretty much have low to no debt, right? Like you don't owe anybody a massive amounts of money to, like, you got to get out of debt. You probably only owe debt every week from the new tires that you order. So it's and pretty much kind of like paid off every week or every 2 weeks, whatever. Just because you rather buy tires from somewhere else at that point, and then you just get back to it. So it's not really any debt, in my opinion. You just, you know, what I used to do is I used to pay every single time the guy came. I used to always like pay every single freaking tire every single day. So checks every single day. That was really annoying, man. My checks were like flying out the freaking checkbook, you know. And so what I started doing is I just started doing it once a week. You know, I'm still like once a week. Sometimes I just let it go a little by, because I'm such in a good position that I don't got to stress about that. So like for me, like even 2 weeks can like be a little bit, because I have so much in inventory. It's not like when it was before. Every single like before, I would depend a lot on the the new tire wholesalers, right? Like what I mean is, like, every single tire I needed, I had to order it. But with time, you know, you save up money, and you know, you buy a bunch of tires and keep them in stock. So they just call it like these 215 85 16s. I don't gotta order them when someone asks for them. You know, they'll ask for them, you order them, get them the next day, put them on. No, I always keep these in stock. Just an example, like a lot of stuff like this. So when they come, it's even better, like, oh, all right, cool, let's put them on right now. And then like you have, like, let's say like 8 of them in stock, and then after, when you need to, then you order them. But you can take your time ordering them. It doesn't have to be like instantly. You can even wait for like the next sale, right? Next sale of when you do your tire sale, sell them, and then order another 8. You know what I mean? But that's pretty much just having money in your business, just ready to go. And the point is, you don't have to depend a lot on the new tire wholesaler, because you have them in stock. That's what I mean. Hold, let me close this door real quick. A little bit less noise. So same thing like these. I just carry like 235 75 15s. I sell them. I order like 8 of them. If I want, I'll order the 8 again when I sell these 4, right? And if you do it that way, then you depend less on the new tire wholesaler, which means you have more flexibility of ordering less tires from the new tire wholesaler, which means you can make your payments later if you want. If that's the way you see things. Like, that's the way I see things. Like, I don't want to, like, you know, owe like in two weeks like 10 grand, and it's like, oh man, like I gotta like hustle now to pay that. Nah, I will like have a bunch of tires in stock, sell my tires, I order tires by them, and in the end of 2 weeks I'll owe them like 5 grand instead of 10 grand. And then, well, 5 grand ain't much, you know, you just pay it off or whatever. That's if you wait 2 weeks. If I wait 1 week, $2,500, just an example for one tire wholesaler, then that means that's cake. I mean, it's because like I have so many tires in stock, and what I do is I'll sell other tires for what tires I have. So I can use a lot of examples. What I've done recently, like I did 255 40 18. I forgot what size I put it in. I think they had, let me think, I think they had 225 40 518, right? Was it? Yeah, I think they had, yeah, 225 40 518. So they had on their little car, I forgot what kind of car it was, 225 40 518, and I sold them 255 40 18 on those rims. So now that car looked better, in my opinion. It handles better, and it looked a little bit wider. So when you turn in, it grits the road better, much better. So it handles better, right? And then at the same time, I have these tires in stock, and so I'll sell what I have in stock, and I don't have to buy tires because I already had them in stock. I sold them these right here to get this type. 255 40 18. They were the Bridgestone Turanza ER33s. So we put those things on, and customer left real happy. Another customer was, they had 225 40 18, and I sold them for these 245 35. So again, the same thing as the last example, same height, just a little bit wider. And I have a bunch of those, by the way. They're like all over the place. Anyways, I sold them those. Customers left happier because they have a first of all, it looks better. Like if you have wider tires, they look better, in my opinion, and they handle better, and we get a good price, good brand, by the way. Yeah, I think it's a little bit like I sell them a little bit more expensive than the Chinese. So I think like if a new tire of 225 40 18 Chinese is like $100, I think I sell them for like 480, so $20 more on the Bridgestone, but the quality of a Bridgestone is way better. And so they that's what the customer wanted, by the way. They wanted some better quality stuff, so there it is. But the point is, like, that's what I do. I have tires in stock, so I'll sell other sizes for what they have, and which happens to make the for me to depend less on that new tire wholesaler, and it just so that's what I do, right? Anyways, going back to the conversation of this video, right? So this video is for the guy who's already been established in the business, and at the same time, like, just comes in, works for most weeks, right? When it comes to for business, they come in, they knock shit out, and they go home with the bread, right? So they come in, do their real good service, and leave with cash, right? And it's like, oh, like, that's a good life. Like, if you actually built a shop, and for you to now be in that position, it's a freaking night and day, super badass. Like, it goes from, like, you probably being negative just to like build a shop, or making a little bit because you're like growing the inventory, and then you're at like a good place, a sweet spot, and now you just come in, knock out business, and go home with money. And I've been there like my whole life, like doing parts at a time like that. Not all the time, but parts at a time, because you always, well, I'm always in that choke and grow. You gotta choke yourself to grow, and I'm always trying to grow. So the sweet spot, like, I'm actually at the sweet spot right now. I don't gotta be like ordering a bunch of tires, I don't know, a bunch of debt. Like, actually I'm in a position right now to buy another property, so that's not the choke and grow. Like, oh man, I'm in that bad, not in the bad position. You're like, oh man, I'm broke right now. But when you come out of it, man, that's like the sweet spot and the choke and grow. And that's where I'm at right now, coming out of that choke and grow. But when it comes to this example of people owning tire shops, let's just say a lot of them don't choke and grow. They're just in the sweet spot all the time, right? So they're like just saving up, just in case an opportunity comes. And I know a lot of guys like this, like they just save. They got like 80 grand, they continue to save. And then they're like, just in case the opportunity comes, I'm ready for it, right? They got 150 saved. Just in case the opportunity comes, I'm ready to go, right? This video's for that person. And there's a lot of you out there like this. And I was in that position for a while. And, you know, so let me just continue, right? So now where I'm at right now, if you see my last videos, well, I don't even know if I posted my last video. I made like 2 videos. I don't think I even posted, but anyways, though, the point is like, I'm right now in a place where I have trusted people, and they trust me, and we're gonna go try to knock out a real estate deal together. And so, you know how it is when you're gonna get a group together, you move slower, right? Because there's more people. You know, let's say you're gonna go, I don't know, you're in Vegas or something, right? Or an event, like someone's gotta go to the restroom, someone wants to go buy a beer, someone wants to like buy some, I don't know, a pretzel or something, and then we all gotta stop and wait for the person, and we go, right? Well, that's what I was been going with me in this new journey and this new project, partnerships when it comes to buying a property. And so it's kind of moving a little too slow. What I like, again, this is my first time doing it, but you know, it's gonna be a lot of our first times, but we all are very trustworthy of each other, and we're all very experienced with real estate. And so that's what we're doing, right? And today we're gonna have a phone call about it, about more details of like what type of property we like, what type of investment strategy we like. And so that's gonna be awesome today. But so I'm on that journey right now, right? So during this whole journey, we already used a little bit of examples, right? And you know, like I like Bakersfield, which is like, you know, about 120,000 a door to purchase. This is all real estate related, so this video is really gonna be more about for the real estate subject. And I know there's been a few videos about the real estate subject, so I think it's gonna catch a lot of your interest. And I think that you gotta learn it anyway, man. If you're gonna be really good in this business, like I'm describing this person in the video, this tire shop guy just in the sweet spot, then eventually you're gonna get there, no problem. And then what, right? So back to the story. So throughout the journey, you know, we're checking out properties. I show mines, they'll show me theirs. Like one's in La Puente that they showed me, 5 units, 1.15 mil. And I go check it out because I'm really close by it, take pictures. I send the info to my loan guy. My loan guy gets me the financials back when it comes to the loan details. I see it, I share it to my partner, my future potential partner, and we see it's 50% down. So it's like, that's like 600 something down payment. All right, and he says, oh man, that's a lot of down payment, right? But that's what it takes to be like nearby here. It's very expensive. It's very expensive out here. So, you know, because if we had like, let's say like, just an example, if we had like 6, 7 people that are gonna partner, let's say we all put 100,000, we have enough for that down payment. Just, you know, in theory, right? But in reality, that much money, that's a lot of money to be putting down on a property that's like $1 million, first of all. And I like having like that was kind of like my he got my 6, right? Like, oh, watch out over there, right? And I was like, oh, like that's a lot of down payment. And I was like, and he's the one who brought the property, not me. And I was like, that's true, that is a lot of down payment. And so, you know, I'm used to like the 30% down in Bakersfield. You know, it's complicated to explain how the loan works the DSR, you know, such a short amount of time. But the point is, like, they just go off down payments for now. Minimum 30% down out there, right? Okay, so we go, and again, the properties are like half the price over there than what they are here. Let's say like the property was at right there at a very good price in La Puente for $230 a door, and out here in Bakersfield they're at $120 a door. So right about half around there. And anyways, so let's just call it that very good price. Let's go off those good prices, right? And I'm talking about Bakersfield at a decent price, not even a good price. If you get a good price, it's even lower than 120. But anyway, so it's all right, down payment. I'm like, okay, I start thinking like, let me look into a loan. Let me look into some other type of loan, right? So then I find that this Saturday, nationwide, Fannie Mae, which is a government entity, is going to bring out a loan that is 5% down, 2 to 4 units, and that's massive. That's huge. So our strategy, let me go to our strategy, right? For those of you who understand a little bit of real estate investing, like you have rent raises for multifamily, and now bring up the value of the property. That's one, but I wanted a secondary value add to the property, right? So my strategy would be make sure we get a property that has a little bit of amount of room so we can build an additional 1 unit minimum, right? An ADU. Now an ADU will give it a lot of value. So it went from being that strategy to now, if it's gonna be out here, the main strategy is gonna be like, forget the rent raises, build the ADU only, and that's gonna be even more value than if you build in Bakersfield, because of the way the numbers work, they're worth less over there, and over here is worth more. So then it's like, okay, we have like a secondary strategy. If we buy around here, our primary value add is gonna be that ADU. So then also, all right, so if that's the case, we don't have to qualify for a commercial loan, because again, the loan, commercial loans 5 and up units, is the DSR. It's got to make sure it's bringing in enough rents, and that's cool if we do that strategy. That's my favorite strategy, by the way. But if we do this one, because this is brand new, this shit is so brand new that it's like it's not even out yet right now, right? 2 to 4 units, 5% down payment. That is massive compared to the just example, the property I just talked to you about of the 5 units in La Puente. 50% down, $600,000 down, compared to a 5%, let's call it $1 million. That's about $50,000 down. If we're just estimating, you know, using rough numbers, right? But that's massive, 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 massive. And so I told my team, hey, look at this loan. I sent it to him, and he shot back, yeah, but that's for owner occupied only. And I'm like, yes, I don't mind moving in with my family to the property if we're able to get that kind of financing. And by the way, real estate is always something, man. It's always like, oh yeah, we'll give you this, but this. Oh yeah, it's this, but this. Oh yeah, it's this, but that, right? Like, it's always like that. And in this case, yeah, we'll give you the financing, but you gotta live there, right? And I'm like, okay, well, we gotta do it, right? So we went to that strategy now, right? So it's kind of like, okay, so now look for something that we can do a value add on the ADU build. And then I just started looking at properties on my own, and I started seeing some things, right? And then it's like, man, I hope that freaking loan is not gonna be so hard to like qualify for. Number one, I started talking to my, you know, people that I know, you know, potentially what it can look like. And so far so good from what the little information that the government has given it to us. All the information is gonna come out on Saturday, by the way. So we're gonna have way more information. But the good thing, my loan broker already has all my information. So he's able to like either yes you can qualify or no you can not qualify. If it's a no, then what do you need to qualify? What else? Bring in another person that makes so much amount of money or whatever, right? Or more down payment. Well, that's the whole thing. Is that we're gonna try to do that 5% down. I do have more than the 5% down that I can use for the property, the potential property if it's around here that I would potentially live in, right? But you know, the whole thing of taking advantage of loans is use the loans what it's meant to be used for, right? And so then that's where I'm at right now. It's like, okay, like I'm looking at places nearby where I live so I can like potentially buy one and with the partnership, right? So that was where I was at with the partnership part. And so now moving forward, right? Moving forward from that part. So I found a property that I liked, you know, liked as in like it's good enough for what I need it for, and it has like a big value add. So that property lets you do 2 ADUs. That is huge. For like a 2 unit, make it into a 4 unit. You don't really see that. And I'm like, okay, I gotta go verify that. I'm gonna go to the city after I leave the shop here and gonna go verify that information. That will be super massive value add, and that's awesome. You know, so it's $1 million property, and so that means I'll have to make enough to qualify for that $1 million part. If not, how do I qualify with adding maybe some other people, right? Or one person a minimum. So the whole point was like, okay, well, how do I bring my team into this? And then it's probably gonna be like more one-sided. It's kind of be like, oh yeah, we're getting after everything what he wants. Well, I like this, but I like that, right? So I started thinking, you know what? I have enough money that I don't got to partner up on this deal. I can do it on my own. So then I started digging it more into this deal, and I'm like, you know what? I can probably, if all the numbers say what they look like so far, do this deal on my own and do a deal with my partners, because I'll have enough money for both. And so then it's like, okay, like I'll let them know. I'll let them know like what I'm into right now, because you know my whole strategy changed when I heard about this loan. My strategy was never this when I didn't know about this loan, right? But sometimes like if you see a very good like worthwhile like opportunity, which I see right now, then it's like, man, I'm gonna go after this one hardcore. And the good thing is barely starting. And the good thing I already have my information already entered with my loan guy, and hopefully, so my loan guy is a mortgage, a commercial mortgage guy, and he doesn't do these loans. He told me, hey, I don't do these, but I have someone that can. He can just forward his information or something to that guy, or maybe work together. Maybe he might want to learn how to do it, because this is very huge, and I might be his first customer, right, with that. But the point is, like, I'm really early in the game that, and I want to share to you guys that, again, with the real estate stuff, you got to look at the loans. What do the loans require? What are they, like, how does they work? Like, just run the numbers, look into them, and there's all these loans are like all different. Like I was saying, they give you this, but they'll take away that. They'll give you this, but they'll take away that, right? And like, oh yeah, let's get this, but this. But it's always the but that. They're not gonna give you everything. It ain't never gonna be perfect. Like, oh, we'll give you everything, right? Never, because it's riskier for them. Like, oh, like that guy can like stop paying, and we're gonna have to chase him and get the property back to court, and that's a mess, and they don't want to do that. They don't like the property, first of all. They just want the money, right? So then they make it a little harder for everybody. So we can qualify for those little hard stuff that is like, okay, this guy can really like afford the property. And so we'll see. But the point is, like, I'm here to tell you, 5% down, 2 to 4 units. November 18, the loan coming out. Fannie Mae, owner occupied, so you have to be living in the property. That is cheap. Run your numbers, and for the tire shop guy that comes in and out, you know, hustling. Just think about this. Oh, okay, sorry. Now, if you're one of these guys, you're probably thinking, well, you know, not much money. Nah, look at, well, okay, what's the rent? I'll share the information, right? So here we go. That property has a 4-bedroom, 1 bath, or 4-bedroom, 2 bath, whatever. The second one's a 1-1, right? So it's like, with me and my family, we need 2 of them. So we got no choice but to get into the 4-bedroom, which would not be ideal. If there was a 2-bedroom back there, I'd rather take the 2 and rent the bigger one. More cash flow, right? So that means I'll have to provide most of the cash flow when it comes to this mortgage, right? A 1-1, where my city's at, is probably, I don't know, $1,800 for a 1-bedroom, 1 bath. So let's call it $1,800. I fix it up, $1,800. I had to pay the rest, right? I don't know how much the loan would be. My guess it would be like around the $6,000 range, right? So I have to pay probably like out of pocket 40-something hundred a month, right? Which currently I'm paying like half of that. So I have to like double my, okay, so you're like, oh, that doesn't seem, you know, reasonable, right? So here you go. The numbers continue, right? This is $1 million property, like I said. So the value add will be construction, right? So you gotta look for a construction guy, a construction loan guy, number one. And I already know it. That's why I'm talking about this, because I already know my loan guy for construction. So they'll value the property at what it will be worth when the property is done, not what it is now. So they'll loan on that amount, right? So you have your construction costs, and you know, during the whole way, when you're gonna build something, you have permits, right? So you work at a tire shop, you can afford the permits. It's gonna cost you a few hundred here, a few thousand there. It ain't no big deal, right? When the construction starts, or whenever you tell them, all right, start making payments to the new loan, then that's when they're gonna start charging you the construction, right? The construction loan. They're gonna start building, right? You're gonna build 2 more units, and where that property is located, you're buying like at about $1 million, and it's gonna be worth about $2 million, because that thing right there, 4 units in the area are about $2 million. So yeah, you're negative cash flow for a few months or a few years, actually, because the law says if you live in the property 2 out of the last 5 years, then you don't have to pay any capital gains taxes. So let's say you live 5 years and you sell it, right? You do the calculations, how much rent you had to pay, how much the construction loan had to pay. I don't know, let's just say it's like 500,000, right? Well, but you sell it at $1 million, so you're gonna be left over like around like 400 something thousand in the 5 years, tax free. And so yeah, you're gonna have to go through hell a little bit, making the whole thing, the whole cost and all that. But I man, that's a lot of money for one property. Let me tell you something. One property, to bring in that amount, that's massive. That's what you call return on equity. You're like calculating how much it's going in, the cost, negative cash flow, and at the same time you're gonna be living there. You gotta pay rent anyways, right? But when you're gonna come out of it, finishing it up, and it's like worth like close to $2 million. Again, I don't know how much construction cost is. I don't think it's nearly like 500,000, but I'm just calculating like the extra rent payments and all that. Let's call it 1.5, right? In the 5 years, all in, right? Except for 2, you know, you're left with like, you know, again, like 400,000 or something, whatever it is. That's massive, man. That's like, you know, usually like a small tire shop guy makes like on average 100K a year. Well, you're gonna make your 100 plus another 100 with the real estate on one property. That's huge. So again, learn about the loans, people. They're the ones that are being able to make things happen for you. Real estate is a very unique business. And by the way, you don't have to be there. And by the way, you don't have to do construction. You hire all that out, right? You just gotta find the people that can do it, people that you trust and like, and you know, you like the contractor here, You like the construction guy there. And by the way, you probably already know these construction guys and everything. You probably already know from your customers here at the shop, just an example, that you already like and they can handle that type of project. It's like, okay, well, that person can do it. Bring more business to people you know, right? Anyways, when you sell, like in 5 years, just an example, there's loans out there that can, again, people can use to buy that property for, let's say, $2 million, that can make it qualify for that much. And by the way, if you don't make the 4 or something, if you make like 3 something, are you getting me mad? If you're gonna 300 something thousand, are you getting me mad? If you're gonna make like 200 something thousand, are you getting me mad? Right? I wouldn't. For one property, man, that's a lot of money for one freaking property, man. I'll be happy with like 100. All right? Nah, but you're gonna do something that might as well go bigger, and for sure you run your numbers, you know it's gonna be around 400,000 you're gonna net. So that's just something I'm looking into right now. But the point is, like, there's so much ways to skin a cat. There's so much ways to like make a deal happen. This is just something more advanced conversations, because I'm already like, you know, been looking into this kind of stuff for a while now. When it comes to like, you know, my many years of learning and doing the property investing. This is just one way, and it doesn't have to be this big. It can be like smaller than this. You can even buy like a house, maybe like. But I wouldn't want to do with the house, because like if you want to buy a house, might as well just go two units and up. Like, why are you gonna do that when you can? And by the way, have tenants that are gonna help you pay the mortgage. So might as well just go a little bigger, and you're gonna make even more money. And yes, you can do this even with a house. But again, if you're doing it with a house, you're gonna have to pay like 100% of the mortgage, and that's not fun. I don't like that. I would like to house hack, and house hack means when you have a tenant living on your property, helping you pay the mortgage, and you get the benefits of everything else, the whole like appreciation, the depreciation. Oh, by the way, there's a whole bunch of other benefits to owning property. You can write off interest, which is huge, because in the beginning when you buy a property, you have the majority of the whole mortgage payment that you're making is all interest. Like, let's just say, again, I said if it was gonna cost like $6,000 the mortgage, let's just call it $6,000. Well, it's gonna be like $5,800 in interest, and like $200 that goes to the principal. So you can write off $5,800 every single month for the first year, or whatever the calculation is, but for the first year to your taxes. So that means you don't gotta pay taxes on that part right there. And at the same time, also, you can write off the taxes, the property taxes. So you're paying property taxes, you can write all that off too, right? So that's another big benefit. But the point is, like, there's like little extra benefits here and there between the whole journey. But the whole point is, like, the loans, man. Just look into the loans. The loans will give you the truth. And it's like, if you qualify for one of those loans, then it's like, man, oh, this is a huge game changer. Let's go, let's do it. And let's get yourself a property. And then you're gonna be working at the tire shop now. And yeah, that money's gonna go into the property for one reason or another. But at the other side, where you're gonna end up at, it's gonna be like, man, that money you made is gonna be making even more money at the other side, right? So that's the whole point of this whole conversation about the loan. So I'm just excited about it, and I'm gonna go do my thing about finding more information about this property that I liked. But I'll let you guys go, and I'll see you guys later. Mamba out.